So are we going to move to the game of the weekend, probably?
Yeah. Ireland All Blacks.
Ireland All Blacks, they started the same way.
That game blew my mind. It was so gripping.
What a great game, eh?
It was an amazing game of rugby. They started very well, and then there was a Bowden Barrett intercept. I thought they were going to score a try immediately again.
Yeah.
And then they ended up scoring early again. There was an early tackle by...
That poop is bigger than the dog.
Yeah, I know. That's it, my boy.
Tiger, the puppy, just had quite an impressive poo. That's why no one could concentrate on what I was saying. We spoke a lot about the All Blacks being vulnerable in the middle of the park. And we saw that from 2018 when the Springboks beat them, that the best place to attack is actually straight down the middle, around the ruck.
Just short passes, like you said.
Yeah.
And just keep doing that.
Yes.
And don't get crazy fancy with them.
It's as if their defensive lineup is the same as their attacking lineup, because they want to be spread out across the entire field. They leave gaps in between defenders. And if you keep the game, the passes short, they kept on finding space right through around the rucks. The back line, they play the short side so often, and the backline players are like half a metre apart, and that's where they made meters, is when they didn't play it wide. And the All Blacks try and get it to the wing as quickly as possible. That's always been the thing, and they just put four defenders on the wing to defend that channel, and they had no answers, especially in the first half.
I want to say the All Blacks, there's a few things wrong with them. First of all, the team on paper they put out yesterday is not like, it's definitely not the best All Black team I've ever seen.
No.
Havili, that guy, why are they persisting with that guy?
I don't know. And also they loose trio.
What did he do?
Nothing.
He did nothing.
Artie, it's actually the Artie Severe show.
Yeah.
He's the only, and
He's
I know they rate Bowden Barrett, but I've never really rated him 100%.
I think Mahanga's better than Bowden.
He is.
They were more direct when he came on.
Yeah.
Bowden plays like Warwick Gelant.
Yeah.
He runs across field, and then he gives a little kick. That's what he does.
And he gets a nice little break every now and
Yeah.
then, but he's an individualistic player.
Yeah.
And I
Jordy
just don't
can't kick
think
for posts. Mahanga can kick for posts.
Yeah. They missed 2 kicks. They knocked the ball on the attack.
they're in
couple of
denial.
times.
The All Blacks are in denial. That New Zealand rugby's in denial, and you know why? Because they don't want to accept that the game has changed. The European teams have gotten a hell of a lot better. They bring a particular style, which the Springboks are very comfortable and familiar with. And the All Blacks, I think they're in denial. Because I can hear it in the commentary. I can hear it on their magazine shows.
Yeah.
How, this flary stuff, they still believe that's their DNA. You know what? I heard John Kerwin say on the breakdown, he went as far as to criticize the breakdown rules, so that to the extent that I thought he was saying, you've got to change the rules that the defensive team can't get over the ball and take the ball. You've got to it's got to be a physical battle at the ruck. He was saying, like, the only way you can win a ruck defensively should be to push the other guy off the ball.
We have to change the rules to suit the All Blacks.
That's exactly it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, players and teams have adapted to these rules, and they're getting over the ball, and you have to live with it.
They slow down the ruck very well, very smartly. The Josh van der Fleer was a menace at every ruck.
Those loose forwards are insane.
Yeah.
He's one of the better loose forwards in the world, eh?
Yeah. When they didn't steal the ball, it was slow ball.
Yeah.
And the All Blacks, it was 22-3 at half time, and they started the game with a skew line out in the second half. But they came out much better. Like you say, Adi Savia, he decided, I think someone had a bit of a scream at them or something half time.
Well, I mean, think about it this way: if the law, if that head clash from, was it their prop?
Yeah,
with the Irish prop.
Yes.
So that head clash.
Porter.
Yeah, that happened while the All Blacks were like coming back.
Yes.
If he had gone off with a red card, I think the All Blacks would have won the
Brody
game.
Retallick has a fractured cheekbone.
He's got a fractured cheekbone.
That was a definite 100% red card.
I think the New Zealanders can complain about that.
There's no ways. There's nothing different between that tackle and the one in the previous game. It's just absolutely ridiculous.
It's just a different interpretation by the referee.
It looked slightly less ugly because Brody Retallick is a huge dude. So when you headbutt him, he's gonna like stay standing.
And
whereas last week it was like I think it was a scrum half that got taken out.
It was Gary Ringrose on a prop. It was a 13 on.
The Irish Oaks are sitting here. They know that was lucky.
Yeah.
I'm not. It might not have changed the result.
Wayne Barnes also
but
had a very good game in which he just slows it down completely and he takes his time.
I prefer the Wayne Barnes measured approach to the previous week of sending the guy off.
Like even at one of the tries, that I think
but now it was like that. Now it affected the series, you know.
Yeah.
Tiger.
But I think the Irish were good enough to win the game still. But
forget that it was 22-25 after Akira Ioane scored, and then after the Will Jordan try, which just completely outsprinted. He hit a clean gap, outsprinted Johnny Sexton, who was the cover on fullback, defence cover, and it was no contest.
But Will Jordan is he's one of their great talents.
Did you see the stat? It's like something like he scored 19 tries in 11 games.
Yeah.
What? Will Jordan?
When they managed to make the game loose for 20 minutes, you saw the All Blacks that we know.
Yeah.
But then, that was the best thing, because the All Blacks, when it's 22-25 in New Zealand, the All Blacks will win the game.
Yeah.
9 times out of 10.
Yeah.
And the Ireland managed, they went for the line out again.
Yes, and scored that.
And they scored another try.
They had a better scrum as well, because I think they were pinned out in the 5 metre, and they out-scrummed the All Blacks. They won that scrap. That was the turning point. That's why they won that game. Then they went back other side and scored a try.
Yeah, Rob Herring, South African-born hooker, scored the try. Yeah,
A Herring.
Yeah, he plays for Munster. Taj Byrne was unbelievable.
Yeah.
When the All Blacks looked like they were going to score tries.
Turnovers,
counter-rucks.
He had at least 2 turnovers on the ground.
Yes.
Their forwards Ireland's forwards are just better than the All Blacks forwards.
Definitely, much better.
Yeah.
They just better.
That back three, Van der Fleer and Byrne played lock yesterday, and Kalen Doris, Van der Fleer, those guys are extremely good.
Yeah. They kind of remind me of our guys like 3 years ago, you know. Our loose forwards
and their defence just held out. They just kept the All Blacks out.
You know, the All Blacks have got a problem at lock, because Whitelock is, even though he's 33, he's finished. And Brady Retallick is way off peak.
They changed 2 players just before the game.
I think Whitelock came on.
Yeah. There was a Va'i or something guy that I've never heard of, who made his debut for the All Blacks yesterday. And he had to come on when Brady Retallick went off.
Also Sam Cane, I'm sorry to say it, dude, but you need a better number 7.
I think he tries hard. I actually feel a little bit sorry for him, because he's now had to take over from like the previous greats.
To take over from Richie McCaw.
Yeah.
I mean, think about the great All Blacks teams, dude. Nanu, Conrad Smith, Ben Smith, McCaw.
They don't have a centre combination. It's never the same 2 centres. No. If you talk about Nanu and Smith, those guys put the black jersey on week after week, and they delivered the goods every game.
Yeah, maybe there is something to be said for the fact that they aren't competing against South African provincial teams.
Is Foster going to make it to the rugby championship as coach?
I don't know what they're going to do now. It's like a year out from the World Cup.
I would drop him.
Which brings me to Johnny Sexton. It's a year out from the World Cup. Can he last another year?
Yeah.
I think he can. But I think if he gets injured, they're in trouble. Because I think there's a massive gap between Johnny Sexton and any other fly-off.
Carberry's the backup fly-off.
I feel like that Keenan guy. Like when the times that he came, that he stood in as fly-off in the move, he's like really good.
Keenan's a quality fullback, eh?
I think we're going to see, if they're clever about it, they bring in Scott Robertson in the next 3 weeks before.
Do that.
In this week, so that he has 2 weeks to work with them before the rugby championship.
Because you need to fire those guys up as well, you know.
I feel sorry for him. He's such a nice guy.
He's such a nice guy. Now he's taken over I mean, arguably the best All Blacks team ever, you know.
There's a slump in New Zealand rugby, and I think I don't know if it's 100% coaching. I think they've just got a void in talent. You know, they're just not getting. Maybe they're there. We're just not seeing them, and they're not being picked.
Watch us in like 2 months be like.
After
an All Black Springboks game you know.
I've seen that Tuivasa Shek guy. I think he's very, very good coming through. But like, we don't watch enough of Super Rugby Pacifica to know the players. That's another talking point. Is their domestic competition?
Yeah, and in my heart, guys, I want the All Blacks to win their games. Please believe me, because I'm affiliated in a sense to the All Blacks, so I want them to win their games at home, against other teams except for us.
Yeah.
I'm just disappointed. Like it's something's missing.
Yeah.
You're not angry. You're just disappointed.
No, I'm disappointed in you.
Yeah. Go to your
They've got
room.
they will always have the talent to beat most teams, so it has to be coaching.
Mm.
It has to be coaching, confidence in each other, confidence in the coach. We always say it. One of the most important things is a happy team. If you want to play for each other and you want to play for your coach, then you're gonna win a lot.
Maybe it's just they're not picking the right guys, or maybe there's the X aren't motivated.
Yeah.
Maybe there's a problem in
You lose
the
confidence.
team.
Confidence is massive. You have to believe.
I feel like it's Bowden. Like they keep picking that guy, and since the loss to us in 2018, where he missed all those kicks,
Yeah.
they're persisting with that guy. But Mo'anga is the guy for them.
Yeah.
In a world where Test rugby is becoming more like the way the North plays.
It's so difficult to not have that guy somewhere on the field.
I'll never forget how
Play him somewhere
Mo'anga
else.
Yeah, they
Mo'anga
played
came
him at
on
fullback.
against the Springboks a couple of years back, and they scored a try off a. I think he put one downfield,
Yeah.
but it was like an amazing piece of play, and I think they won the game in the last minute with him.
Yeah.
And I thought to myself, yeah, bro, why don't they
What
start
a waste
this
of that guy's talent.
Obviously,
Mo'anga,
if Scott Robertson comes in, he's going to pick Manga because he's a Canterbury, he's a Crusader.
Crusader.
Yeah.
And I mean, there's no shame in having like Bowden come on as an impact player. What like?
Yeah.
Bowden can cover a lot of positions because he's extremely fast
Yeah.
and he's skillful.
Yeah.
Yeah. He played fullback for a while. Then you got to drop his brother.
Geordie Barrett is a good fullback though.
He's probably the best backline player. He just missed his kicks,
Yeah.
which was crucial in the end.
Wouldn't it have been nice if they had Mo'anga?
Yeah, because he makes all his kicks.
But yeah, well done to Ireland. Like
Yes, no.
And
well
yeah,
done.
no,
Yeah,
Ireland,
we're talking
Ireland-
about the All Blacks, but we should
yeah,
actually be talking
we're
about
talking about the
how
island
amazing
and
the
how we have
Irish
to
were.
play them in
the
November.
Irish were
Yeah.
unbelievable.
November tour is going to be so tough.
Yeah.
France.
France and
Ireland.
Ireland.
I think that's probably what I mean. We have to build massive depth to
Yeah.
last the championship, and then last year into, and then go to the World Cup. You have to have a squad of like 50 players.
And play URC as well.
Yeah.
Like at the same time.
Rugby's getting a bit crazy actually, if you think about it.
Yeah.
We should actually have the rugby championship when
Yeah.
the Six Nations are playing. Same thing.
Or not a 3-test series, just have a one-off test against the Northern Hemisphere team, and
So
then
nice,
go
the
into the
3-test
championship.
series. I like the 3-test series.
I love it.
I just think that Wales should have played the Pumas. Should have played our Currie Cup champions midweek. Like the
Yeah.
Ireland played a midweek
Yeah.
game. Imagine if we could go watch Pumas on a Wednesday night.
Or Wales play like our under 20 Springboks.
Yeah.
Imagine.
Put under
Yeah.
20
Or then
Springboks.
just play the Marties or UCT or
Varsity
something.
Cup game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe-
England
I mean,
beat
yeah.
Scotland. So 2 Southern Hemisphere teams won and 2 Northern Hemisphere
Yeah,
teams. All
Argentina in the
decided.
last, like after the Hooters sort
I
of
didn't
thing.
watch the game until the end.
I told you they were going to win.
The Prophet Jono spoke.
Exactly, dude.
Yeah.
How was our guy? How was our little super arrogant left wing for
He
Scotland?
scored 2 tries.
Jeez,
Who
like,
won?
The one.
Okay, good game.
Yeah,
But they lost.
but they lost.
Yeah.
Hey,
Okay, guys.
Paulo Mortera.
I've got no more beer left, but it was a fantastic 3 weeks.
yes.
Yes, decided.
Let's do it again.
Let's
Yeah,
do it
let's
again
do that
next week.
Do it
again.
again next week.